It turned out so pretty. Hey everyone, today I'm going to be painting in an adult coloring book with watercolor paints. This was actually sent to me by Maggie, and you can get your own copy on Amazon. I will link my affiliate links down below. The paints will also be linked below if you want to get the exact Artistro set that I have. I thought this would be fun because I have seen a ton of the artists in the community here try this. I believe it was started by ADC? ACDC! ADC art attack, so check him out. I'm just doing this to relax and unwind, but I think since I have so many children's coloring books and that's the actual challenge, I want to do that in the near future. If you'd like to vote, go ahead and comment down below which coloring book I should use next. There's quite a collection. Let's go ahead and open to the first flower that I'm going to paint today. It is this one right here, the Decorative Dahlia. As you can see, there are definitely more intricate pages, and there are also full spreads. I'm sticking this piece of paper behind the page just in case it were to bleed through. Most people that I see do this actually scan the page, print it out, but we're just gonna see how strong this paper is. Kind of cardstocky. These are the watercolor colors that I have to work with. I'm going to be using this set from Artistro. I guess I first need to decide what color I want to make this. I'm just looking them up on Google Images because I don't know what color schemes there actually are. Should I make it look realistic? Should I just... Yeah, I'll make it look realistic. This one's pretty. We're going to go with the pink and yellow fade here. Apparently the puppy has to go potty. Hold on. I really love how smoothly watercolor paints glide along the page. It is so much more satisfying than trying to do something like this with colored pencil that takes so much longer and the color just doesn't look as evenly distributed. There's some texture, but this is just like butter, basically. And I feel like alcohol markers are a little bit more difficult to get the learning curve down. Maybe it's just me. I've used them a few times, but I just think that there's so much more forgiveness with the watercolor paint. So that was lemon yellow, by the way, and now I'm going in with magenta, and I'm going to color the darkest area, which is the middle part. That's the darkest I can get it. I might have to go in with a little bit of violet, see what some violet does. Oh yeah, that works, that helps. So I'm now gonna go in with a light pink shade. It's actually called Rose Red, and in this set there isn't really a neonish type pink that matches the photo I showed you. So we're just going to work with what we got here. I'm not paying attention to every single petal to make it look realistic, that is. I'm just doing whatever feels right. The thing with the flowers is you can't really mess them up, and that is why they are great for relaxing exercises, you know, just kind of like stress relief painting. You don't have to worry about how much it matches a reference image if you don't want to. It feels good to get a brush or a pencil moving on a page and, you know, get some color down, get some stress out. Art is just very therapeutic and relaxing, so it doesn't matter what the outcome is all the time, as long as you are enjoying it. I sound like a motivational speaker, but art has helped me feel better in so many instances in my life. I actually was someone in school, the teachers, like if they didn't know me, they probably thought I was being rude, but in most classes, I was the one who had to like doodle in my notebook while I was taking notes. I couldn't just be sitting still because in that case, then I would think about like, oh, does my stomach hurt? Or, oh, like I have this other test to study for. So in order to stay present and in the moment, I did a lot of doodling in my notebooks. But anyway, I'm just trying to add a little bit more dimension to the petals. It's not going to end up looking realistic. I'm trying to keep the just have fun motto in mind because it can be hard for me sometimes to not have something turn out the way that I want it to. Even though I know that I'm just practicing, I'm like, I want this to look like the picture. Here's what it looks like when it's completely dry, and when I flip the page, it just very minimally ghosted. You can barely see any of it through, so you can still use the back side, so that's great. Leo, are you hungry? For comparison, here's a page that I colored with colored pencil. This page, this design is absolutely stunning, and I think it's my favorite in the entire book. For this one, I want to have some more creative freedom and not just use the typical flower colors. I want to maybe add some black in here, purples and blues, and just see where that takes the design. So I may have gone a little bit heavy-handed with the black. I'm gonna fix this at the end by going in with a colored pencil and adding a little bit more detail back in, because I kind of got rid of all the lines, as you can see, and this doesn't really allow for me to blend the colors over the black because everything's kind of going to get sucked into that shadow, but that's totally okay. You'll see later. As I got a little bit more adjusted to working with this black, I decided to tone it down a bit and make sure to add some light areas as well. So at the bottom of the flower, I did a little bit better of a job with the shadows. Once everything was dry, I went in with some more layers, but this time you can see I'm adding color, and I'm making every petal for the most part a different color or like a different shade of blue, indigo, violet, or this kind of fuchsia. I think this looks really pretty together. I threw a little bit of turquoise in there as well. Let's talk a little bit more about the method of how I'm using the watercolor paints in the book specifically. And by that I mean I'm using the wet on dry technique, which means I do not wet the page before I apply the paint. I just apply the paint to the dry paper. In this book and most other coloring books, they aren't designed specifically for watercolor paint or wet material. So this way the integrity of the page will hold up a lot better and you won't see as much bleed through or ghosting on the back. So just don't get too heavy-handed with the water and you should be fine. With the blue flower, I tried to put shadows and highlights where I thought they would be. Again, I'm not paying too much attention to making this look super realistic, but if there is a petal behind another petal, of course that's going to be darker in that area, and I wanted to kind of vary the different shades of the blues that I'm using to give it more variety and just make it look more interesting. The same with the leaves. At the bottom of a leaf, I made that darker and tried to gradiate that up to a lighter tint of the color. I did various shades of green for the stems and the other leaves at the top, and I also did this thing where I applied a little bit of pink in with the green at the tip of the leaf, again just to kind of add more interest and make it look cuter, prettier, whatever. And then I did go in with this like violet and fuchsia color scheme for the other flower just to tie everything together and balance out the page more. And then I really wanted to use some metallic somewhere. I decided on the gold, which is so shimmery. I love this. If you don't want to use watercolor, there are other options. So I've compiled this handy chart here of different mediums that I've tested, and you can see on the back if they ghost or if they bleed and what you want to use, so you can decide. And by the way, the jelly roll was the last minute addition, but you can't see that through. If you're interested in purchasing any of the materials, supplies, the book that I'm coloring in, I'll link everything below. I'm going to be using affiliate links, so it will help me out a little bit, but you don't pay any extra or anything. And any funds that I raise will go towards feeding my hungry fur babies, and of course they'll go back into my channel so I can continue making more videos, upgrading my equipment at some point. That's only if you're able to. Please don't feel pressured to use my affiliate links and buy things. Don't feel pressured when I launch my shop in the near future to purchase things. Your support here, just watching my videos, is so, I appreciate it so much. It's more than enough. So thank you just for watching, commenting, liking, sharing, and taking time out of your day to watch something that I enjoy sharing so much, like my passion. It makes me so happy just to know that I am adding a little bit of joy, hopefully, to your life. I know that sounds cheesy, but I love doing what I do, so thank you so much. And then the final thing, which I kind of mentioned a little bit ago, is I am going back after everything dries with a colored pencil. Actually a few. I did white and I kind of went back in with some blue and fuchsia as well. There's this lilac-y lavender one. And yeah, this is what it turned out like. I think this would be really pretty to frame. Here is a peek at the back. It's salvageable, but I do think that it's worth the sacrifice if you do happen to ruin this little image here. The other one is just so much prettier. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget to vote in the comment section below if you have a preference on which children's coloring book I should challenge myself to color in. I love it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe. I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye. A little sneak peek, my next video is going to be another sculpture. Just one, but I've kind of prepared an army.